Real Moto is innovation and freedom.
It's a judged event. Definitely a lot of pressure and a lot of stress.
This is my chance to showcase what my whole life's about.
I just want to do something different and show that there's other stuff out there.
Everything we were doing, it was life and death situations every single time.
You have to put yourself in those situations of digging deep and fighting and pushing through the pain. You just have to have that savage mentality to ride a dirt bike.
Welcome everybody to the world of X Games Real Moto 2020. I'm your host, Jack Matrani. 6 of the best motorcycle enthusiasts pair up with a filmer of their choice to put together a 90-second video part. This is the definition of blood, sweat, tears, and broken bones, and it's all for this, X Games gold medal. And now that you know what Real Moto is all about, let me introduce you to these amazing judges. Jimmy Hill in the house, Jeremy Stenberg, AKA Twitch, and of course, Mike Mason. Let me help break down the judging criteria. We've got 5 topics, one being creative use of terrain and feature selection. We've got technical riding. We've got amplitude / sheer gnarliness. We've got the video edit, production value, and then of course, overall impression. There's truly nobody more qualified than all of you guys, having competed in Real Moto before and now being able to use that experience and judge it. So let's get right into it. We've got the first ever female in Real Moto. We got Vicky Golden and her filmer, Patrick Evans.
I used to race Vicky when I was a kid, and I'm pretty sure she used to smoke me.
Yeah, I think she still could smoke you for sure, but I feel Vicky's like a pioneer for females in our sport. Stoked to have her in Real Moto.
What up guys, Vicky Golden here. I'm 27 years old and I'm a freestyle motocross athlete for Nitro Circus. I grew up riding, pretty much in every boys class because there just wasn't a female class to even compete in. It made me such a great rider and racer growing up that I was able to go into arena cross, supercross, and race X Games in the women's class. I am literally the underdog up against the gnarliest dirt bike riders in the world that do gnarly stuff every single day, and that just gets me more fired up to make sure that I'm one of them. Patrick actually rented a room from me when he was probably 19 or 20. He was a filmer that dabbled barely in riding dirt bikes. The entire time he's been able to film and ride and progress in both of those categories. It's made this project so much cool to be able to work with him on it.
Vicky's full-time job is definitely riding dirt bikes. She's all over the world all the time. Half the time I don't know where she's at.
He is one of the hardest people to impress on a dirt bike. And so if I can get him impressed with something that I'm riding or doing, then I know it's good, and that's kind of the push I needed, especially when I'm up against the gnarliest dudes in the world.
A lot of times as the videographer, I'll want to get this angle in the sun and get the light just right, but then the motocross rider in me knows that that angle isn't going to look that good for the trick. When you ride dirt bikes all the time, you know what angles you want, you know what whip looks the best from where, and you kind of have to sacrifice the cinematographer in you a little bit to get that.
The Castillo family has really gone out of their way for me, and I've really wanted to pick places that were really special to me as well. Everyone knows it's one of the most iconic places to ride a dirt bike at.
So we found the McGrath double. They start stacking the lip like a lot. Vicky started doing heart attacks over it, which was ridiculous. I wanted no part of that. She ended up going down really hard. She was laid on the ground, and I was like, well, it's sunset, we're losing light. You gonna get up and keep doing it? We got shots to get.
Didn't know that then, but I ended up putting 2 fractures in my L5.
I didn't know that she broke her back.
So I just kept riding through it just to get the shots. The front flip was kind of something that really appealed to me, mainly because it's just one of those tricks that I wanted to be able to say that I've done. I did a lot of foam pit work. I ended up over-rotating, and my thumb caught the throttle and just hooked it and tore it all the way back. So I ended up putting 5 fractures in my hand and my wrist.
So now she's got a broken back, broken wrist, and we still have to do the no-handed front flip, which is world's first for a woman.
Got everything set up out at Cheney Ranch, another iconic spot. Started going to the landing bag a little bit and found out very quickly that this trick does not work with landing bags.
Oh, that was a bad one. She had a broken left wrist at the time, and then she just broke her right wrist, like a clean fracture break.
My dad was paralyzed from riding, and I was only about 12 or 13 years old when this happened. And the minute he hit the ground and someone got to him, he asked, "Is my bike okay? Can I keep riding?" And that's something that kind of always has stuck with me. No matter how much pain I'm in, if my bike can be put back together, I'm going. If I'm gonna get hurt, I'm going to dirt, pull the landing bag.
There's a very small group of people in this action sports industry that are willing to go through that to accomplish a goal that they set. It's something like the Travis Pastranas, the Danny Ways, the 1% of these people in this sport that will do that, and Vicky Golden is one of them.
I'm not a quitter. I see the goal, I see, you know, how much, not just that I've put in, the people around me have put in, and I know I can't let myself down, I can't let them down. You just have to have that savage mentality to ride a dirt bike.
I'll remember the Real Moto experience the rest of my life. Some really heavy riding. Vicky did amazing.
What up guys, Vicky Golden here, and this is my Real Moto Edit. People like to say you can't do something. You won't qualify for a Supercross, you can't be as good as the guys. I just use it as motivation. You don't know until you try. It's not about other people's approvals, really. It's about trying to accomplish something that's important to you. That's why you get back up.
Are you kidding me? 2 broken wrists, front flip, no-hander.
She's gnarly.
That's
More gnarly than I am.
tough as nails. It was cool to see she tried to mix up everything she's good at. Supercross stuff, free riding, and then at the end with that insane front flip no-hander.
She earned that spot, she killed it. Patrick Evans nailed the filming of it, and I thought it was a great part.
I don't even put Vicky in a category as female. I put her in the category with all of us because she's that badass on a bike.
All right, we're gonna cut to a quick commercial break. When we get back, it's the defending gold medalist, Colby Rae, filmed by Jay Schweitzer. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody, to World of X Games Real Moto 2020. It is now time to get into our defending champion, Colby Rae, and the OG filmer, Jay Schweitzer.
Rae probably has the most pressure coming into this year's Real Moto just because he won last year. But the dude's bad. He's gnarly, he goes big, and he has his own style.
Jay was one of the first guys I ever filmed with and kind of helped me get into the scene with all the on the pipes and stuff, so I think it's going to be a good edit.
Let's see if he can defend this gold medal. Colby Rae, filmed by Jay Schweitzer.
Winning last year and coming back in, it's really no different. Just try to do what I think's the dopest thing I can do. This year I tore up my shoulder, torn labrum, rotator cuff, the whole deal, and I didn't film for like 2 months, so pretty much crammed everything in the last month again. Time to go jump some stuff in LA. I got everything done. I did a couple risky things right at the end and pulled them off. I wanted to step my game up. I know the competition's gnarly, so I hired Jay to come out with the helicopter he lined up for Manny's yard. Jay's filmed all the On the Pipe movies, Moto XXX movies back in the day. The guy's been killing it for like 20 years. It's nice to have somebody that's such a professional come in and just kill it and even like bring ideas and things to the table that I couldn't on my own.
This time I thought instead of just shooting it on tripod like I did 15 years ago, I was like, let's take this to the next level. So I called up Eric Everly, who's my good friend from Tep Media, and I rented the shot over from those guys, and it's pretty much the ultimate camera system and tool for any filming job.
We got insane shots off that jump. You can like really see how big it is and how fast and gnarly it is.
I don't even know if anyone's ever whipped it off the dirt jumps before. After we knocked those out, then we basically moved right into the distance ramp where we could see how far he could go. he nailed it. I mean, Raha's, he's a beast. He crushed everything.
I think it's just cool because you see it in the old movies, and I just feel stoked to be able to be the guy to like bring the yard back. Thanks, Manny. One of the gnarliest things I did probably in the whole project was jumping over the train. You don't know if you're gonna make it or case it or what, and it's just full sketchy. I had to build a ramp, and we had to take it out there, me and a few friends, in the middle of the night and set it all up. And then as soon as the train shows up, I was able to second gear wide open, boost this thing, and barely grease it. I wanted to get a clip at the LA Convention Center, and like the way we had to go about it was super strategic. Tyson and a couple friends, my brother, had to put a ramp in the back of his pickup truck, and like I just text them from down the street, like, I'm riding in, you guys go ahead. So when I pull up, they got the ramp and they're running it up the stairs. Get in, you got like 10, 15 minutes of making noise before the neighbors and people around see. Yeah, it's a little different.
The logistics of setting up a shoot in the dunes is probably the hardest you'll ever find for shooting motocross. St. Anthony Sand Dunes is a place that really hasn't been put on the map yet. The backdrop is huge mountain vistas of the Grand Tetons with green fields. I've never seen a backdrop for sand dunes this beautiful before.
We just got in a couple hours ago. It's like 8 a.m. and there's supposed to be some massive jumps out here, so we're gonna go see what's up with all that.
It's gonna probably take us couple test runs, one or two tries to really nail the timing down.
The wind's dead right now, dude. We're set.
Let's do this.
Jay's crazy. He's like hanging out of the helicopter, standing on the railing, doing 80. Like, it's pretty gnarly, but he got the shots and crushed it.
Something that Raha's always wanted to do was to grind a rail. However he could get on that thing, and basically like the skid plate of the dirt bike is sliding a rail. It was pretty nerve-wracking. It's not like there's a foam pit, there's no airbag, it's just straight concrete at the bottom. So if he stacked it up, he's breaking something for sure.
Took a couple test runs, and then the one time I fully committed and locked in with like 7.5, 8 feet of rail and totally grinded it and got out safe. Dirt bikes can grind handrails now, so go ahead and try it. Thanks to Jay for hanging out the helicopter and lining up all these big shoots.
Working with Raha, he's just like ignited that flame again, and now I'm like just as psyched as I was in 1997 to get back out there and shoot, and I owe all that to Raha.
I'm Colby Rae, and this is my real moto.
I am what I am, and that's all that I am. I am what I am, I'm a hooligan. I am what I am, and that's all that I am. I am what I am, I'm a hooligan. I am what I am, and that's all that I am. I am what I am, I'm a hooligan. I am what I am, and that's all that I am. I am what I am, I'm still a hooligan. I'm waking up at like 11 in the morning, playing by the rules, yo, it's just so boring. I'm eating Captain Crunch for lunch. Do I got issues? Yeah, man, I got a bunch. Like late night fist fights, half pints and dirt bikes. Yo, I love them all, so they label me an outlaw. But I still keep it raw. You don't have to respect me, you can love me or hate me, but I ain't gonna change and you ain't gonna make me. The lyrical privilege, full pledge, living life on the edge, straight out of control, self-proclaimed. Oh, and I am what I am. I am what I am, and that's all that I am. I am what I am, I'm a hooligan. I am what I am, and that's all that I am. I am what I am, I'm a hooligan. I am what I am, and that's all that I am. I am what I am, I'm a hooligan. I am what I am, and that's all that I am. I am what I am, I'm still a hooligan. One.
That's why Colby Rae is the defending gold medalist. Did not disappoint. What did you guys think?
Sheer gnarliness, that's his category right there.
Like 3/4 of it to me is just pretty wild, ballsy jumps. I wouldn't want to hit most of those.
I love all the elements in it. It's not just a one-dimensional video. You know, there was street riding, their handrail, all that stuff. He had dunes in there. I mean, he's flipping natural terrain jumps. I mean, you can go on and on about the guy, but I love the diversity of his edit. You know, you're not just watching one thing over and over.
Will he be able to reclaim his gold medal? We still got 4 more parts to go. Don't go anywhere. When we get back, it's Josh Hill and Mike Wood. Welcome back, everybody, to World of X Games Real Moto 2020. It is now time to get into our next part with Josh Hill and Mike Wood.
What's up? I'm Josh Hill, and I love riding motorcycles more than anybody you know. I was pretty much just born at the dirt bike track. My dad rode BMX and raced like local intermediate pro stuff here on dirt bikes, and my first memories are watching my dad ride, but I don't really remember anything before that.
I wouldn't let him ride a motorcycle until he could pedal a bike with no training wheels. And that happened at like 2.5, 2 3/4 years old.
When he was 7, he busted his leg, and we had to put him in the hospital for almost a month. And in that month, I talked to his dad, and I said, he'll never get back on a bike. I've been here nights when he's screaming and hollering because he can't stand the pain. At the end of the month, I went up and asked him, I said, Josh, are you gonna ride bikes? He says, yeah, Pop, that's what I am. So we went from there.
The very next year, he wins at World Mini. And we're like, wow, we're onto something. We can't not try this. We have to try this and see where it goes.
We were having fun as a family. Josh loved it more than anything. I mean, he didn't want to do anything but hang out with his dad, ride dirt bikes.
Next thing you know, he was the youngest guy to win a Supercross.
A Supercross championship is like, I mean, to me, that's probably like the pinnacle of all motorsports to me. But this is just like, if I could win this, it'd just be one of those personal things. Like, this is what my passion is. Like, this is why I get up every day, is just riding motorcycles.
I developed everything that I do off Josh. My style of racing and just like how I go about things. I've learned so much from him over the years.
Because of my parents' hard work and dedication, and my grandpa, I mean, my grandpa is the backbone of this family. We were able to do this. My mom homeschooled me. My dad started just taking me everywhere, and it was something that they knew I really wanted to do, and they put everything into it to help me see my goals. 2010, I wanted to do X Games speed and style, and I was convinced I could backflip. Hit the foam pit 2 days, one day with Nate Adams, one day with Robbie Madison, and was feeling good, and decided to go hit it to dirt, and first time, pulled it around, it was great. Second time, I don't know what I did. I pulled back, it didn't feel right, and for whatever reason, I jumped off. Didn't think about the consequences and overshot the landing and ended up breaking my femur really bad, breaking my pelvis, humerus, wrists. The worst of it was due to complications from all these surgeries. I ended up getting compartment syndrome in my opposite leg. I mean, I still haven't regained feeling back in my foot. I've figured out how to just adapt to riding a motorcycle. I mean, it's harder for me to walk across uneven surfaces than it is for me to ride a dirt bike.
I would have never thought that kid could have podiumed after that. I never thought that was gonna happen. And now I look at him and it's like anything's possible.
I don't know what to tell you. He's just a motocrosser. Tough one.
Ever since the first time I seen Real Moto, I just always hoped that maybe one day I could get invited to it. It just seemed like something I'd really like to do.
I feel like there's more pressure just because Josh is next level. All around on a dirt bike, I don't know anybody better than him. Dude's hard. And he's got balls.
I've known Mike Wood for a long time. He's just got a little bit different take on it than most moto filmers I've worked with. He's got that little extra bit of creativity, and he's laid back, he's easy to work with, and I knew that there's gonna be a lot of juggling going on. There's a lot of moving parts with trying to race Supercross, trying to film this, and I needed somebody that was gonna just be a friend and understand what's going on and be patient.
When I'm out scouting for locations to film, it makes life a lot easier on me. I'm able to look directly at satellite images, and if I get tipped off on a place, I can see exactly what it is. A lot of places I go, I don't really have the time to set up a whole bunch of gear, and it could be one take. You gotta get in, get out. I can just edit right then and there and hit the slow-mo and see exactly where it's going right.
Yeah, got the side.
Whether you're a professional filmer or just somebody that happens to be there, you're always going to get the shot and it's going to come out clear. It's pretty important to me that I'm able to share these memories with my family. Seeing their reactions in real time is just amazing, and I can do it instantly from anywhere in the world.
We had a couple bangers in the tank, some things that he went pretty big on that we felt good about. Next thing you know, Supercross is coming up, coming back from COVID, and Josh is training over at the MX Club. but he ended up, you know, tank swapping in the whoops and went down pretty hard and ended up dislocating his hip.
The doctor told me it was gonna take me 6 weeks to walk.
Pain is temporary. The guy's, he's mangled, but he just gets up and does it again. But he was limping like pretty bad when I got here. And I was like, I don't know, Josh, let's at least, you know, think about building some stuff smaller, at least, or, you know, stuff that has a little less consequence. And he's just like, he just wants to go big. That dude is strong mentally. Like, he'll just get through it. He's a savage.
Obviously, I'm proud of everything else with the Supercross wins and all this stuff he does. Blows my mind. It's so cool to watch. I have a blast. There's like so many things to be proud of with my kids, Josh and Justin both. Where does it stop, man?
This is my chance to, in 90 seconds, showcase what my whole life's about. Why I ride dirt bikes, what I love, and just my style of it. I mean, this is the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I wasn't gonna let a little injury, you know, stop me from doing what I wanted to do. I'm Josh Hill, and this is my Real Moto.
Super gnarly, super creative. What did you guys think of that part?
I never would have thought I would have seen Hill flip again, so yeah, that was definitely cool to see.
Yeah, that's got to be like the ultimate mental battle.
I feel like out of the parts we've seen so far, that part had more of a diversity in all the riding and the tricks. He's gonna make it pretty tough to judge.
All right, we're halfway through the parts. When we get back from the break, we've got Corey Creed and Alan Hardy. Welcome back, everybody, to World of X Games Real Moto 2020. I'm your host, Jack Matrani, and it is now time to get to our next rider-filmer duo. We got Corey Creed and Alan Hardy.
Hey, what's up? I'm Corey Creed, part-time freestyle motocross rider, part-time stuntman. Real Moto is innovation and freedom. Whatever you've got going on in your brain, you have that opportunity to go and create it and show the world how your brain works, basically.
I want everyone to watch this and find a reason to watch it again. I want to blow people's minds, I want to confuse people, and I want to get them excited. And I reckon that's what we've made here.
When I was asked to do an X Games Real Moto, at the time I didn't think I'd bitten off too much than I could chew, but I definitely did.
We knew it was ambitious. We knew that in no world could all of this ridiculous stuff fit into 90 seconds. But we did it anyway.
Just gotta be safe, man. Just taking all measures.
Every bit of experience, every bit of technology, from action films to commercials to Hollywood features, it's all in this one 90-second clip.
Each stunt in this segment, I was at the time looking forward to it, and when I seen it on paper, I was super excited about it. But probably 10 minutes before each one, I was always questioning myself, like, what have you got yourself into?
Buddy drifters in my county, I'll get him. I'll get him on 2 wheels too.
For me, Alan Hardy was an easy pick to be my filmer for Real Moto in 2020. I knew that anything that I could dream up, Alan would take it to a whole nother level and just make it look sick and put his filmmaker touch on it.
It's easy to point a camera at your mate. It's easy to watch some dudes race around a motocross track, but we're not filming. We're creating. We're producing, we're directing, we're bringing a vision to life that includes 30, 40, 50 people and their specialties. And that's not easy, but that's what makes it so rewarding. That's why we love doing it.
So full X Games moment, we're on our last day of shooting, which was alley-oop. So we did a number of jumps to airbag, and then, Alan was like, all right, let's go. We got to shoot this. It needs to be done now. So it was a matter of pushing a ramp over and going to dirt. I don't ride quarter pipe for fun. You ride that ramp to get ready for competitions, to go in the hunt to try and win a medal.
First attempt goes so high and hits the ground so hard.
You all right, right?
Yeah.
Arms good? Yeah, I'm good.
Corey is the gift that just keeps on giving. We thought, well, that's out of the way. Home free now, boys. Apparently not.
Everything that I put on paper seemed achievable, but when it went wrong, I thought I was going to die.
The stunt team did their tests. They had 6 or 7 people along the run-in, all with extinguishers. It should have gone pretty good.
Get me out, get me out, get me out!
When I was like full body burn, like consumed in fire, I thought that like my life was over. It was such a surreal feeling.
You all right? What I do?
Hearing the commotion and seeing it from a distance.
We're gonna need some warm clothes to put on him. Just careful with your hands, bro. Got any more blankets?
I for sure thought that we were done. Like, I had no intention of going back to shoot that again. Everything that was there to keep Corey safe kept him safe. It's just something that scares the hell out of you. Emotional roller coaster, that is the 2 words for this project.
Getting on the bike, my nerves were through the roof, but, that's why we get and do this. This is real moto. My segment sets itself apart because we got world's first, we got fire burns, we got lake skims, cars being driven on 2 wheels, and every little idea that I had in my brain pushed into this little segment. So it's wild, it's out of control, it's sick, I'm pumped with it.
And with any luck, Corey will never put us through this ever again.
Definitely used a few lives up on that one. I'm stoked to make it out alive and make it to the end to present to you my X Games Real Moto Part 2020.
Roll cameras. The action hero nobody wanted. Corey Creed stars as everyone in the most ridiculous film of the year. From the city to the Wild West. It'll make no sense. But we don't care, because the stunts are just so damn cool. There's motocross jumps, dangerous stunts, real explosions, and burning flesh. Oh, and of course,
A little bit different. What did you guys think?
You're just laughing the whole time, watching me eat a donut, driving a car sideways. I'm down with that one, but for Real Moto, it didn't really do it for me.
I just feel like the few crazy things he did in that video were masked behind too much production, and you really didn't even understand that he just did a trick that only one other dude has done in the whole world.
We're not knocking the production value or the creativity or anything, but we have a criteria we got to stick to, and it's kind of hard to judge when there wasn't a whole lot of writing going on in it.
Only 2 parts to go. When we return, it's the Australian daredevil, Jacko Jackson Strong, and his filmer, Ben Heydrich. Welcome back to World of X Games Real Moto 2020. I could not be more excited about this next video part. Jackson Strong, filmed by Ben Heydrich. The last time that Jacko was in Real Moto, he blew his house up. So we're gonna see what he does in this one. What can you guys tell me about Jacko and Ben?
Jacko is one of the gnarliest dudes in this competition, I think, and he always has something to prove.
His filmer is gonna be more on the cinematic side. I'm expecting to see some creativity behind the lens.
Let's get right into it. Jackson Strong and Ben Heydrich.
G'day, my name's Jackson Strong. I ride freestyle motocross from Australia. The thing that I like most about our edit is the energy and enthusiasm it brings. I feel it's got the old school vibes there as well as like new school. Hey, we're here and we're doing some cool stuff.
I've been working with Jackson Strong for a number of years now. We've got a film company together called Headstrong Films. Our team consists of Lachlan Russell, Jackson Strong, our new team member Raj Jordan, and myself.
This year for Real Moto, we put in so much effort. We went to the effort of building a whole new FMX course to really showcase what can be done on dirt jumps. We got planes in, we blew a fire cannon off. We just had too much fun, I think.
The vibe of this edit is badass. It's got to be Jacko, it's got to be flames, it's got to be in your face, and it's got to be world firsts. The concept that we envisioned with this edit was end of the world, start of a new era, bringing freestyle motocross back from the dead.
In our Real Moto, we really just wanted to show that FMX is still alive. At the start, we had a tombstone rip FMX, jumped over the top of it, and then just blast into some of the biggest jumps ever and really big tricks. So stoked that we went hard.
What we've got here, you'll see a couple of pipes running down the trench. What these are going to do, we've got a pressure chamber up the top. It's going to put high pressured air. We're going to put a heap of dirt in the end of them. If everything goes to time, we'll release the air from the chamber and it's just going to shoot a heap of dirt up in the air as if it's coming out of the ground with Jackson.
There was so much synchronization that had to happen in this shot. There was so much that had to be done at the exact moment for it to work the way it did. The stars aligned and we got the shot.
Working with Jacko is a bit of an eye-opener. He's always really ambitious, really pushes things right to the limit of what's possible for himself and for us.
With our filming for Real Moto 2020, the risk was off the chart. Everything we were doing, like, it was life and death situations every single time, and just glad I had a good team that was able to execute everything perfectly and make sure I had the correct path to be able to do my job safely. The fire scene was really cool. I think that's probably the most labor intensive of the whole shoot. There's a whole lot of setup goes into that, the fire cannon and making sure everything's routed correctly, making sure the whole team has their designated job.
So much coordination went into every shot that everything had to be perfectly timed and everyone in the whole team had to do their job perfectly to get it right.
On the night it just ran like clockwork. We got the shots we needed to do and everyone came away safely. Not only are we showing creativity through a film point, it's also through the music side of it.
I'm a huge fan of music and I think it's so important, especially when it comes to a video part like this. We wanted to create something ourselves that we could absolutely sink our teeth into. So we jumped in the studio with Raj and we created our own song. We made all the sounds ourselves. We even went out into the warehouse and used different tools and things to make scrape noises and bangs and clangs and noises on the roller door just to add to this thing and make it really industrial and a little bit earthy at the same time.
We really wanted to bring an Australian element to the mix, so I got my Indigenous friend Dane Simpson to lay down some didgeridoo and it turned out perfect.
Perfectly tailor-made for this project, and that's the icing on the cake, really is.
No matter how good the film was, it's got to have something that's like a world first on a dirt bike that no one's ever seen before. So Jacko had the idea of doing 2 of the world's biggest tricks off dirt-to-dirt jumps, and to pull that off is just amazing, and it's just a real credit to Jacko that he could get it done.
We did this by not having any ramps in the whole project, and it was really quite a battle for me to do a first double flip dirt to dirt was insane. The lip changes so much and you know, a bit of the clay lip can fall away and then you're done. The dirt to dirt double and dirt to dirt fronting are 2 career highlights for me. That's something that I've always wanted to do, and this time Real Moto 2020, we nailed it. I think I love aviation nearly as much as dirt bikes. It'd be pretty close. They're kind of hand in hand these days, and the more I fly and ride bikes, the more I think about how I can integrate those two together and make something cool. We've got AJ, my friend who flies in his Pits S1. He's going to fly underneath between the big dirt jumps, and I'm going to rip it over the top and make something nasty. It might be a split second for you guys, but for us, this is hours, weeks of work to make this happen, so appreciate it.
Jackson's mate AJ is on the other end in the plane talking to Lockie, trying to get the count in and when to turn around and bomb through the centre of this jump. Such a risky moment for Jacko. All right, we're all good to go.
Oh. Relief, boy, that is so good. Cheers, everyone. Right.
I've been working with Benny and Lockie for around 10 years now, and between us, I think we're a magical team. We get the job done. I know that they give me my space that I need to go through the pressure and do what I need to do, but in the back of my head, I know they're gonna get the shot, so we're covered. I'm Jackson Strong, and this is my Real Moto edit.
Well, that part was fire. Ladies and gentlemen, Jackson Strong.
The quality of the film was ridiculous from the daytime to the nighttime with the explosion.
Probably one of the best shots of Real Moto 2020 was the Cordova flip going through the flames. Like, he's blowing stuff up to make that happen, and he's, you know, they nailed the shot perfect. Everything was perfect about it.
This is it. Final part coming up after the break. Cody Webb and Dominik Russo, and we're also going to find out who's going home with X Games gold. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to World of X Games Real Moto 2020. Before we get into the results and see who's taking this thing home, it's the final part, Cody Webb and Dominik Russo.
I'm Cody Webb, 32 years old, originally from Watsonville, California, and I'm a professional enduro racer. Grew up as a trials rider, that's what my dad did forever, so naturally that's what I got into, and so it's all about balance and technicality.
When we were younger, every Sunday, we would drive up to this place that we call the Ridge Runners. Cody and my dad would go out and go riding. My dad would tell him where to ride at.
He would make my brother go up anything because he knew that my brother was capable of doing it. A lot of families go to church on Sunday, and our church was always going riding together.
Riding a bicycle at 2 without training wheels, motorcycle 3. I feel like I have better balance on 2 wheels than my own 2 feet at this point.
Took to it like a duck to water. The Little League dad kicked in. I started pushing him. Hey, try this, try that. I think you can do it. Boy, it was like a big moment where he would do stuff and I'd be like, wow, I made it, cool, let's do the next thing.
Real Moto to me is just going out and trying to do something that no one would expect to be normal on a dirt bike. Moto isn't just freestyle, you got motocross, supercross, and off-road racing.
Cody Webb is America's greatest off-road guy, period.
I won Enduro Cross Championship 3 times now, a World Super Enduro Championship, finished on the podium twice at Erzberg, which is probably the biggest extreme off-road race in the world.
Anybody that rides a motorcycle can appreciate somebody's just pure technical skill. And that's what we got to really display, and that was our goal.
The first part of our shoot, we started at Lake Isabella, California, and I wanted to find a spot where I can just go rock to rock to rock without even touching the dirt.
That really set the tone, like, we're onto something here. We're really gonna get to do something unique, and it was just game on, honestly. For a second location, we got to camp at 8,400 feet in the middle of the sequoias.
That's basically why I ride in the first place, and I wanted to incorporate that into the Real Moto edit.
This place has everything you could ever want for somebody like Cody Webb. Big, huge rocks, mountains, trees, tight trails, fast trails.
He has his engineering degree, so he's super calculated. So balanced and knows exactly how to put the bike to work.
We did some really cool wide open meadow shots, and 20 feet down the trail I saw this little rock that to me looked like a ramp, and there was a tree there, and I was like, I think we can basically hit the rock like a kicker and do a tree bonk.
Typical Cody, he just pulls it off like it's nothing, and it was really a great shot and something that was very unique to his segment.
The intent for our edit is basically just to get, you know, people to open their eyes up a little bit more and find that there's a lot of natural features and ways to go out and have fun on your dirt bike. Like, you don't have to build all these big, huge jumps to do cool things. Like, you can just find something right off the side of the trail, and, you know, I really hope we achieve that. I'm Cody Webb, and this is my version of Real Moto.
I'm definitely a huge fan of that part. No ramps, no tractors, no shovel even. I think every one of us can kind of relate to that grassroots riding where it's just about you and the bike and trying to be creative with the terrain that you have. All right guys, we've seen all the parts. Why don't we go through and use the judging criteria as our frame. We'll talk about the bests and the worst from each part, starting with Corey Creed.
It was by far the best production, I think. It looked like something you would see in Hollywood.
We have to judge off of what he did on a motorcycle, and I think we only had like 3 to 4 clips in 90 seconds, so that kind of made it tough on us.
What about Vicky Golden?
She was by far one of the gnarliest ones. No one else is doing no-handed front flips after 3 crashes with having 2 broken wrists and a broken back. But it just wasn't in my top 3 just from lack of creativity.
The one thing that stood out too that I didn't see in a lot of videos was FMX tricks on freeride jumps. She was doing them with some style too, so that was one of the highlights.
I think she was just a little bit off of my top 3. For her first time, first female athlete in Real Moto, I think it was an awesome part.
What about Josh Hill?
When I get all the segments, I watch all of them once and then kind of sit back and think, what did I see right away? And Josh's was one of the first ones that stuck out in my brain.
He checked just about every box. Out of all the edits, when I got done watching his, I really did want to ride.
What about Jackson Strong? Where did he check off the boxes in your guys' judging criteria?
Amplitude and the sheer gnarliness was there. Jumping all the stuff with all the big fire in the background, jumping from out of the ground, double backflips, just everything he did was gnarly.
He didn't do a lot of freeride and stuff, so that's kind of the only downfall.
Let's talk about Cody Webb.
I feel like Webb did a lot of gnarly stuff in his part. The amplitude just wasn't there for me.
What about Colby?
I think a couple years ago when we judged Colby, his part was awesome, but one of the knocks was how it was put together. Bringing Jay in, I mean, Jay's been in this sport for almost 20 years, you know, and he knows what he's looking at. Well done on finding his weak spots and making them a strong spot.
The stuff he did, grinding down the rail, you usually only see that on the BMX bike. You don't see a dirt bike grinding rails. That was dope.
When it comes to picking a winner for this contest, you have to cater to what the judging criteria is.
I mean, if you have to nitpick, it's so hard to go between my top 3, you know, because we have to separate them somehow.
All right, folks, this is it. The judges are gonna break off, they're gonna put in their final numbers, and we're moments away from finding out who's gonna go home with the gold medal for X Games Real Moto.
Creative use of terrain, go to 6.
The top 3 dudes for me are super close, and any one of them could win it.
All right, my numbers are in. It's up to the other 2 judges now.
Thank you, judges. The numbers are tallied. I have the top 3. For Real Moto 2020, bronze medal goes to Jackson Strong and Ben Heydrich.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Congratulations. For your silver medal, Real Moto 2020, can you guess it, guys? Josh Hill and Mike Wood.
Oh, man.
That's rad.
Damn.
Congratulations, boys.
Which means the gold medal, Real Moto 2020, is going to Colby Rae and Jay Schweitzer.
Yeah.
Dang, good job, boys.
Normally we'd go surprise them in person, but since it's quarantine, we're FaceTiming the winner. Yo, man. What up, Colby? I just want to say congratulations on winning Real Moto 2020, dude!
Yeah, dog.
You got the squad.
Way to go, look at that.
Thank you guys, man, thank you.
Dude, thank you, man. That part was insane. Like, you hit a handrail on a motorcycle.
Yeah, pulled it off, dude. Huge thanks to all you guys, and then yeah, thanks to Jay, my filmer, and for pulling off all the crazy helicopter shoots and doing a kick-ass job.
One last time, congratulations, Colby. So much respect for all the riders who competed this year, to the legendary panel of judges, to everybody at home who watched. That's Real Moto 2020. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Thank you.